Hi everyone, it's me, Eleni, and I'm back here today to read you another Enviro story. And this is a very touching, very beautiful story called A Bird's Eye View. And it's written by Jack Finley at Medowie Christian School. On a dry and windy summer's morning, a sleepy old cockatoo was snoozing in his hollowed-out gum tree home in the middle of the Australian bush. The cockatoo was woken by a very strange and unfamiliar sound. The sound was very loud and seemed to be moving closer to him through the thick bush. The big bird decided to fly out and see what was heading his way from above. The old cockatoo looked down and saw that the noise was coming from 4 red and yellow trucks with orange flashing lights that were speeding along a dirt road through his bush. Then he noticed something even worse and far more unwelcome. You see the red and yellow trucks. The wise cockatoo recognized this terrifying sight. It was a massive bushfire. Huge flames were tearing through his bush so quickly. A thick blanket of smoke coated the sky, making everything become dark. Oh, what a chilling picture. He noticed that the flashing trucks arrived next to the fire. A big group of brave men and women got out their hoses and began trying to drown out the roaring flames with water. It seemed hopeless, but they kept working hard, fighting the ever-advancing fire. The poor old bird began to worry about his home. Would it still be there when he flew back? He looked down again and noticed hundreds of other animals fleeing their habitats. How will they escape, he thought. Got a snake, koala. As he flew overhead, he noticed so many helpless koalas high in the treetops, clinging for their lives with no way down. The entire bush now seemed to be on fire. Sadly, there was nothing he could do for the koalas. He just had to hope the people with their flashing trucks and hoses could save them. The old cockatoo thought it may be safer to fly towards the town now. This poor koala in the tree. And the flames below. As he flew closer to town, he saw people were packing all of their special belongings into their cars. There were lots of cars stuck in traffic jams as they tried to flee the oncoming fire. He thought it was strange how closely it reminded him of the animals trying to escape the burning bush. The old cockatoo came to realize that bushfires were a disaster that affected both animals and people. He wondered if anywhere was truly safe from the hungry, devouring flames. Look at this amazing picture of the cars all leaving. Everywhere he looked, the cockatoo could see the people were just as panicked as the animals to find safety before it was too late. They're all packing up their houses. The cockatoo heard the loud sounds of the sirens again and saw more and more of the yellow, red trucks speeding towards the town as the wall of fire moved in closer and closer. Oh. All day, through the night, and all of the following day, the heroes in the yellow uniforms fought. A few of their houses were lost, but by the time the fire had passed, not a single human life was lost. Even after the town was saved, they hopped back into the flashing vehicles and continued to fight the fire and save as much of the bushland as they could. After resting on the porch railing of one of the surviving homes overnight, the old cockatoo felt it was once again safe enough to fly out to return to his gum tree home in the bush. But he was not prepared for what he saw on his way home. Look at the cockatoo getting ready to venture back home. As far as his eyes could see, his bushland was completely burnt to ashes. The hills that were once covered in thick green trees and bushes now looked like a huge black carpet with black sticks poking out all over it. Look at that amazing drawing. Nothing looked the same. He wondered, where had all of the wildlife gone? How many of his animal friends had made it to safety? And how could he find his tree when everything looked so different? As he searched for his gum tree, thick, dark clouds began to form overhead. Oh, what's that? Like some kind of miracle, it began to rain. It started with a slow pitter-patter and then started to pour. This was just what they needed to help put the fire out. As the rain settled the smoke, the cockatoo looked across the landscape and spotted his old twisted gum tree home still standing where he left it. He knew he was extremely lucky. Although saddened by the destruction of bushfire, the old cockatoo knew that life would find a way. The Aussie bush is resilient to fire, and even though it would take some time, his home would recover and become the magnificent place he loved so much. Look at this beautiful final illustration of the cockatoo returning to his home. So lucky the tree was saved by the rain. Well, that was a bird's eye view. And thank you so much, Jack Finley, for writing the story and those beautiful illustrations. A really important story, and I'm sure one that a lot of people really understand. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.